So in the last class, we discussed about Tableau workbook and Tableau package workbook. And we have seen the advantages of Tableau package workbook where if you want to share this file to others, and instead of capturing all those individually, if you have any image files or any Excel source or MS Access database files, simply you can create a package workbook and you can share this workbook to your friends or any other different location. So that helps actually. So importantly, we have .tds and .tde, like that is what live connection versus extract connection. We actually gone through what is live. Live is directly like whatever the data we have. Okay, so whenever you are going to load, like let's say if the data is loaded in the live in the database, and if it is a live connection, then that's the advantage where directly it will update. So you don't want to manually update the data, so directly you are going to get the updated records. Let me shift delete this copied, and I'm going to create another copy of this sample superstore. Control V is a copied version. So let's open Tableau here. So let's connect to sample superstore copy, which we created now, which we duplicated. So you can see the update, the latest version is available. Yesterday I saw in the midnight, update of 2021.1 is available. So this is the latest version they released before the end of Q1. Okay, you can download that. And if you don't have installed, as I said, I'm going to connect and I will help you out the installation after the class. So, but at least I'll go through that. I'll check what are all the new versions. I saw one option in the layout in the dashboard, but I'll go through the latest functionalities, like if they have added. So let's drag and drop orders table here and go back to sheet 1. So by default, as I said, whenever you're going to connect, it is a live, and we are also seeing that if it is a live connection default, when you open Tableau or whenever you're going to run the dashboard, if the data is updated in the database level, default you're going to get the updated records. You don't worry much with live connection. But I'll showcase the differentiation of what actually is extract and why we go for extract. Okay. And we'll go through the comparison of both live and extract. Importantly, extract is important for performance. Okay, remember, extract connection helps a lot for performance. For better performance, we do prefer extract connection. So how we are going to create extract? What is the concept of extract? How it behaves? I'll tell you. So extract is static. Okay, extract, the TD is static. The TD extract data source is static. So whenever you're going to create an extract file, that will be static. You don't get live data, but we need to refresh. We have to refresh the data to get live information, live data. You have to refresh to get live data into the .td file. But I'll just give you the information on what actually .td and the history about .td. Basically, you can see live, but when you click on extract, okay, when you mouse over, you can see import your data into Tableau's data's fast engine, right? That is what Tableau data engine. We have Tableau data engine internally, and whenever you are going to create .td file, basically it will be very fast when we compare with live connection. So what they are saying is like extract is created when you click on a new sheet tab, but click extract first, select extract. What they are saying is whenever you are going to click on sheet 1, the extract will be created. But I'll give you some options, like I'll give you some more points about TD, and you can see in brackets hyper. Okay, let's create an extract first. Let's say like March 27th, 27, and you can create superstore, like you can give a naming convention superstore data. Okay, this is an extract file I'm going to create. I'll showcase the size. Whenever you're going to create an extract, you can see the symbol. You can identify by looking over this symbol whether it is an extracted data or not. We'll come back to all the files, information, each and everything, but you can see if you are going to use extract connection, you can see a kind of a data source and you have an arrow mark which is pointing to other data source. But whenever you are going to switch from extract to live, go back to data source. Now I'm switching to live. Go to sheet 1. You can see the data source symbol. Even you can switch from live to extract here. Right click, you have an option called as use extract, because we already created extract, correct? We just created extract. And if you want to use that extract connection, you can do that. Okay. And you can see the differentiation in the symbol. Let's say I'm going to give you a simple example. So it's not like complete explanation of extract, but a very simple example. So let's go back to live and see the results of live connection. So we have central, east, south, and west. And I'm going to create an extract. We already created, right? We created an extract. I'm just editing this extract. I'm going to apply the filter on top of a region. This is just an example, okay? I'm going to showcase only central and east. Just to give a quick switch from live to extracted, extract to live, okay? Now what is this? What is this connection? Extract, correct? We are getting only central and east. You can switch from extract to live. Now we are using extract. Whenever you are going to unselect extract, this will be live. You can see in live, we didn't apply any filter. That's the reason we are able to see all the 4 regions. But when you right click and if you want to use the extracted data, which we have applied the filter in while creating the extract, so you can see the differentiation. This is the extract connection. And when you switch back to live, you're going to get all the 4 regions in sheet 1. So that's just a differentiation, because whenever I'm switching, right, you may not see the difference in the data. That's the reason why I created a filter in the extract. So let's remove this, but I just want to showcase the differentiation. This is what extract and this is live. You can switch between live and extract, but we don't switch every time. It's just an explanation. So most of the cases we do work with, most in the sense, don't consider 100% or 99%. Most of the cases, let's say like more than 70%, right? More than 70% we use extract. It depends on the projects for sure. Yes, I'm not saying like it's our own decision, but we can try, like we can test. They are not going to restrict you like why you are using extract, why you are using live, because a lot of cases we do get all these questions like, can we use extract, can we use live, correct? It's your own decision, but you have to be like, you don't go for like, what I mean to say is like, hey, you say it like .td gives a better performance, so straight away I'm going to use extract, so I'm not going to use live. In that case it will be tough, right? Because I'll tell you one scenario. There are situations where we are going to get live data every 1 hour, correct? Or maybe every 3 hours we may get live data. and we are okay, we are good with performance. It's not like we don't have any performance issues with live, but intentionally you created an extract, and every 3 hours the database is going to update. Again, you need to update the Tableau extract file, right? You need to refresh extract to get real-time data. So every 3 hours it will be tough, correct? Every day is okay. Like most of the real-time projects we have seen, like a daily refresh will happen. But let's take an example, like every 3 hours, if I want to refresh the extract, even the live connection is also good for the performance. But blindly, I have preferred extract because I learned that extract gives better performance. That is the reason I'm using extract. It's not correct, right? So what I mean to say is like check the feasibility. There are certain cases how to go for extract or live. So we can check whether we need to go for extract or live. But what I mean to say is if there are any performance issues, better we can choose .td, that is what Tableau data extract. So we do prefer extract connection. Clear, right? I'll pause here. Let me know if you have any questions. Anyhow, I'm going to showcase practically what actually extract in live. I'll showcase in like each and every point with screenshots. So any questions here? So extract is static. So I'll give you a history of .td. Basically, it's we do called as cubes in some other terminology. Cubes, right? CUBES or .td. You don't get confused with this, right? .td is like Tableau data extract. But when you create, whenever you're going to create an extract, right? So let's say where it is created, like go to data sources. When you create like March 27th Superstore data, right click, go back to properties. You can see the files name, like the properties, right? The type is extract, Tableau extract, right? I have a lot of extract files created. But you can see the extension. You might ask, what is .hyper, correct? Tableau extract, it looks good, okay, but what is .hyper? So that is one of the important change. As I said, right, I'm not sure whether I informed, okay, I didn't because we didn't start at Tableau, right? So like what I mean to say is like, so they introduced a concept called as hyper connection. This is inbuilt. You don't worry about the whether we need to perform or consider hyper or not. It's inbuilt. What actually hyper connection? So just remember this, okay? This is very important. I do feel this is important because at least this is a change in 10.5. So, and it's a bigger change. Why it is bigger change is 1 year, like Tableau come up, like Tableau, let's say 1 year they work hard and they are aware of that it is going to give a huge impact in the Tableau performance, and Tableau work hard to bring this hyper connection. That's what they introduced .hyper in .td file, okay? In 10.5 version, the released .hyper, that is what hyper. So from 10.5, it will support only 64-bit version, 64-bit version of software, right? Initially, let's say if your Windows is 32-bit, you can download both. You have both 64-bit and 32-bit like Tableau software. But after releasing of hyper connection, right? After releasing of 10.5 with hyper, Tableau does not support 32-bit version of software. So they do support only 64-bit software, which is called as the hyper connection. Okay. Hi. So basically, we just going through like the data, Tableau data extract. TD data extract is static, but what I mean to say is whenever we are going to save that TD file, The extension of the file is hyper. I just want to give you the brief introduction of hyper, which is very, very important. But how it is important? You say like it's the same, right? It's Tableau data extract with hyper. Only the naming convention, it looks different, correct? So in terms of hyper, the big difference is the performance of loading the data. Let's say whenever you are going to load the data into Tableau, right? When you perform .tde, let's say if you have 10 million records, 10 million records of data. Let's take an example before 10.5 version and after 10.5 version, okay? After 10.5 or from 10.5, right? So 10.5 version. The differentiation is if you are going to load 10 million records, 10 million records, this might take, let's take an example. This is taking 10 minutes, okay? 10 million records. So before 10.5, it might take 10 minutes, but from 10.5, it may take 3 or 4 minutes. It's a huge change, right? That's an advantage of hyper intelligence. So that is the, I'm not saying exact number of minutes, this or something like they do cut down, right? So initially it was a huge, it might take 10 minutes, but if it is taking 3 or 4 minutes, it's a huge change. It's a drastic change while loading the data into Tableau. That's the advantage of hyper connection. Clear? So they work hard to implement hyper in Tableau and they come up hyper in 10.5 version. So they're given a statement, I think before 10th version, within 1 year, exactly 1 year, they come up with hyper version and they introduce this hyper from 10.5. That's the reason we have few changes in 10 plus versions. I'm going to showcase that. I'm going to tell you, like, it's not drastic change, right? Only few, like there are few changes. They introduced some of the functionalities, features in Tableau from 10 plus versions. So that is what hyper. So that is what just an introduction of hyper in .tde. Initially, the extension is only .tde, but when it comes to like hyper, when they introduce hyper, they used data Tableau data extract in bracket. They are showing hyper in the extension. Okay, but this is what the data source we connected, the sample superstore, and this is the extract we created. Let's say I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this as Tableau data extract. Or we can go for live versus extract. Clear? So basically, and let me showcase one more example here. Basically, you have, okay, I will showcase that in the end of the completion of this extract because that's simple. As I said, extract or like Tableau package workbook, as I said, it is also going to store the .td files. I'll come back to this, okay? Not to worry. But .tde is static. So the connection of like we have live and extract. We discussed that. Whenever you're going to use live, that will be live. Like whatever the database changes, if the database update, if the data is updated in the database level, default we are going to get the live data into Tableau. We don't worry about live connection. The only thing we have to worry is like performance, right? If we have a performance issues, if it is taking more time, so that's the reason, the solution is we have to go for Tableau data extract. So that's what I mean to say. For better performance, we do prefer extract connection. Okay. So let's come back to Tableau. When you click on extract, you can see you're clearly seeing this date and time, right? 2703, that is March 27. 2021. Now the time is 7:56 and it clearly tells that extract includes all data till March 27th, 2021, 7:44:46. So if there are newly loaded records after 7:44 or maybe 7:45, you don't get that particular record into Tableau. Okay, I'll showcase the difference now straight away. So, and I will give you the differentiation between one more concept called as full refresh versus incremental refresh versus incremental. So we'll go through this after some time, but I just want to showcase the live versus extract. So this is extract, right? I created an extract.
Hey, Ramesh, let me ask a question.
Sure.
Excel sheet.
Sorry?
The Excel sheet.
Oh,
The Excel sheet.
this one or the sample supersheet?
Yeah, this one.
Okay.
So when you mentioned from extracts, you moved to hyper connection and then 10.5.hyper. So my question is, what's the difference between the extract and hyper connection? Are they the same?
It's the same, yes.
What about the 10.5?
10.5 is the version. You can see Tableau, like you can see the version, right? What is the version? Current version is 2021.1, just released yesterday night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but we have, like, I'm using 2020.4, right? So let's search here. You can see Tableau 2020.4 is the version.
Mm-hmm.
Previously we have 2020.3, and
Yeah.
we have different versions actually.
Mm-hmm.
So like we have different versions like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's actually serial number, like we I have seen, like, from 8th version 8.1, 8.2,
Mm-hmm.
8.3, 9.1, 9.2, 9.3. But
Mm-hmm.
from 10th version, they have 10.1, 10.2, 10.3, 10.4, and 10.5. Basically, they'll stop mostly, depends on that particular version. If they
Mm-hmm.
want to release, if there is a change, if there is a major change, they'll go for a version 10.45. If there is a minor changes, very minor change, they will go for a subversions 10.4.1, 4.2, something like that. Till
Okay.
10th version, they follow the same name, like the serial number. As usual, you can see other, like, let's say Microsoft 10, Microsoft 10th version or 12th version or something like that. So right, 13th, MS Office 13. So they may skip some numbers, they may have some like depends on their belief actually, like they want to skip some number, right? So we have Windows 8, but when we don't have Windows 10 9, I think. So we have Windows 10. So some of the organizations don't prefer 9 number, but this is a serial number. Okay, Tableau like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a till 10.5 we have those versions. But what Tableau come up with is like year version. So when they release a version into 2018, so that's what they call for 2018.1, 2018.2, 2018.3. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And if they release any version in 2019, they used year dot subversion, and they released 2020 dot subversion. That's what they are coming with. Now, if they release any new version in 2021, that's what the naming convention is, year dot subversion. So maybe you might get confusion what is 10.5, because previously the version naming convention is, this is what the number. But better, like Tableau come up this version, like 2018 year version, and all other reporting tools nowadays, like they're also following same kind of versions. So couple of reporting tools I have seen, they're following the year dot subversion. So let's say if you released a new version in this particular year, they'll come up with 2021.1, 2021.2, 2021.3, something like that.
Okay, so what it means is the 10.5 is a prior version
Is the previous
till,
version, yes.
yeah, be prior to 2018.
Yes, prior to 2018, we have 10.5, and in
Mhm.
10.5, they released a connection called as Hyper, which is
Right.
already TDE. Before we have TDE, .TDE,
Mhm.
Tableau data extract. Now they are showing something like this, Tableau data extract, in bracket, they are showing Hyper. That's it.
Okay.
The extract with Hyper. But
Mhm.
before the extension is .TDE, now
Mhm.
it's also the same .TDE, but they have additionally, hey, we have additionally called as concept called as Hyper, which is hyper intelligence. We do call it as very fast. That's what the naming convention. Hyper is pretty fast. So it will load the data very fast with Hyper connection. It's internal, it's inbuilt. So we don't worry about that. But just
Okay.
historical information of Hyper. That's what I want to say, because it's a big change in Tableau for performance.
Okay.
That's a good question. Thank you. So now I will showcase an example here. Interestingly, in live connection, it's not possible. It's not possible in the sense, yes, we can track, but interestingly, for extract connection, we have an option called as history. Okay, whenever you're going to use extract, you'll get this option enabled, and you can go back to history. You can even refresh. But whenever you're going to use live, let's unselect this. This is a live, correct? You can see the symbol and you need to identify whether it is live or extract. Okay, but just confirmation, I'm just showing for you because this is the initial stage. You can see this is live. Go back to sheet 1. Now you can see here, so we already have the extract. That's the reason I'm going to showcase history. But if you don't have extract, this option will disable. Okay, so now go to I'm using extract. What is the advantage here is you can check the history and number of records you loaded. You can track that particular timelines here. At what time you loaded the data, that's what time you created extract, and or what time you refreshed, and what kind of a refresh you have done. It is a full refresh, and how many number of records you loaded into Tableau, or for that Tableau data extract. You can check the count here. So at 7:44 we have loaded, that's a full refresh, we have loaded 9,994 records. Okay, so we can track each and every record here, like each and every information, like I'll showcase while performing incremental refresh. But now what I'm going to do is we are using this extract. Okay, so I'm saving this file. You can see we are in extract. If you don't want to go from there, and you can also check from here, like we are using extract, right? So we are using extract connection, and I'm going to update a new record here, 9995. Let me copy this, Control C. Let me quickly showcase. See, like I didn't save that Excel. So how many number of records here? How many number of records here is 9994 records, correct? And drag and drop orders count into labels 9994. The total number of records is 9994, and we have 4 regions of data, which is extract connection. Even when you switch to live, when you unselect extract, that is live. Even when you use live, you can see 9994, and we have 4 regions of data. Okay, this is live. This is live. But now I'm going to use extract. This is extract, the same data, right? There's no difference in the live and extract data for now. That's what I mean to say. Just a confirmation. Remember 9994, and we have 4 regions of data. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to update some part of data. Let's say we are going to load some part of data into the database, or this is our database now. And I'm not including all the information. It's a waste of time now. So I'm going to include a region called as ABC, a new region. It's a dummy region. I'm going to include ABC and some sales information. Let's say 20K, and the discount is 2%, and let's say 3,000 is the profit. Okay. I just added one record and I saved this file. File, save. Okay. So save. Now, whenever you're going to open, like, let's close this workbook. Now, whenever you're going to open the live versus extract connection workbook, so which is live, this one, live versus extract. Let me delete this, control shift delete. This one, live versus extract, just double click. We are using extract connection, right? So let's double click and we'll check whether we are going to get that extra record or not. You understand, right? So I'm going to verify whether we are going to get live data or not. Live data is like we should get extra record 9995, and we should get the other region, right? So ABC region. Because we are using extract data, we can still check on the history and it's not updated. Still it shows the data we have till is 7:44. Now the time is 8:07 and we didn't get the extracted because we need to refresh the extract. As I said, default we are not going to get the live data into extract. You understand, right? We need to manually refresh the data. Yes, we have an option. We can also automate from Tableau server. I'll showcase that. But we have to refresh the data extract to get live data into the .tde file. That's what the point here. .tde is static. That's what the point I want to mention. The TDE file is static. We have to refresh the data to get live information. But when it comes to like live, now I will switch back to live. Okay. Whenever I'm going to unselect extract, that means it will become live, right? So when it is live, it has to update with one extra record. That is, the region has to get added, ABC, and we should get the count. The total number of records is 9995. Let's unselect the extract. You can see, just we unselect extract. That means we are using a live. You can see we are using live connection. When you connect live, we got the extra records. We are not manually refresh anything, right? We just switch the connection back to live, and you got the live information. Live in the sense, whatever the data present in the database, you're able to see that data in Tableau. And even I need to get an extra count, right? 9995. Yes, we got an extra record.
Hello, Ramesh. Sorry, I am asking you too many questions.
No.
I think for me, I understand this whole concept you're showing, but for me, it gets really confusing because on this Tableau interface, I honestly don't know what you're doing there.
No, it's simple. Don't
Yeah.
consider Tableau. Don't consider any of the software. Like, just look into the number. So let's concentrate on the topic extract. Okay.
So I shouldn't bother about how you are navigating to
Yes, yes.
unselect and all
Don't
that.
worry about the navigation. Just let's concentrate on if it is extract. If I'm going to use extract, whether you got the live data or not. Are you getting a live data? Like whether you got the
Yeah, yeah, I get the concept, but whatever you are doing here, where to go to, which
don't worry. That's what
button
you
to
don't
click.
worry about that.
Yeah, I'm lost. Okay,
What
all
I
right,
mean is like you don't worry about that. So
okay.
just concentrate on the topic, like what is live.
Mm-hmm.
When you use live in Tableau, see from here, there are only two pages, right? No need to confuse. There are
Okay.
only two pages. We have live and extract. Sorry, not live, sorry. There are only two pages. This is data source page and
Mm-hmm.
we are in the sheet level. So you don't get much confusion here.
Okay.
And what I mean to say is, instead of going back every time to data source and switching back to live and extract,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just showcasing you an option called as right click here, use extract. It's a tick
Okay.
symbol. You can see you are using extract connection, and you can see the symbol of the extract is two data sources symbol, kind
Okay.
of, right?
Okay. Thank
But
you.
whenever you are going to unselect, this will become only one data source, which is a live connection. So
Mm-hmm.
just to give you clarity whether it is live or extract, go to data source. This will be live. And go back to sheet 1, right click. I'm using extract connection. If you want to verify whether it is an extract or not, go back to data source and you can check it is selected as extract. So instead of going back every time to data source level, right click, use extract. If this is we are using extract, then we can tell that, hey, this is an extract connection.
Okay.
When there is no tick mark, you can see there is no tick mark here. We are not
Mm-hmm.
using any extract connection. It's
Okay.
highlighted. That means you have extract, but we are not using extract connection. This is a live. If it is a
Okay.
live, that's what the data we updated. We just inserted a record in the Excel, which is ABC is a new region. If it is a live, you got the data directly. It's updated in Tableau. We connected, right? We connected to
Yeah.
Sample Superstore. We are getting the data directly, without any refresh, any of the operations on in Tableau. Just we switch back to live. But whenever you are going to use extract, we created this extract at 7:44, around 7:44, correct? You can go to history, check the timeline, 7:44, and still you can see with extract connection, still you have 9994 records. It's not updated with the latest record, like it's not updated with the latest region, that is ABC, and
Yeah.
we are not getting the extra record, which is 9995, the total count. But still we are able to see only 9994. That's what extract is static. We have to refresh. So how to refresh the extract? Right click, go to extract. We have to refresh here. Click on refresh. So I'll come back to this statement why it is. So you need to refresh manually. Now you can see the extract is refreshed, and you can see the count is 9995. Go back to sheet 1. Now you are able to see the latest record which we added in the Excel. Now you're able to get the same like ABC information in extract as well. Before we created extract at 7:44 my time, and go back to history, you can check the timeline now. When we refreshed at 8:13, you can see it's close to 8:13, 8:14 now. At 8:13 a.m., we have done full refresh, and we got 9995. The total number of records we loaded is 9995 records. Clear all? And
Yeah.
even I can also explain the like incremental versus full refresh. I'll come back to that. You might get confusion. So maybe I'll teach this. I'll go through this full refresh versus incremental refresh on Monday. So because I'll take some better time to explain this example. I'll showcase one more point, like we can convert into Tableau package workbook, and we can do unpackage whether we are going to get .td or not. But before going to that, let me know if you have any questions. So importantly, the only flexibility I'm showing is I'm not switching back to data source level. I'm just using this option, switch to live or switch to extract. That's the option I'm showing here. Or if you have any confusion, go back to data source. If you want to go for live, yes, select live, click sheet 1. If you want to go for extract, go to data source, click on extract, and it will showcase the time, whatever the extract you created, right? So clearly you can see the time zone. Right click on this, and you can also go for history just to check, just to get clarification on the extract. Clear? Any
Yeah.
questions?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so I'm not going for extract incremental versus full refresh. I'll tell you why we go for incremental refresh. Most of the cases we do go for full refresh, because incremental refresh there might be a lot of dependencies, there might be multiple columns tables, but I'll showcase what actual incremental refresh on Monday. But let me showcase one more important point. As I said, if it is a package workbook, right? Now let me convert into package workbook. So you can create a package, because as I said, right, Tableau package workbook stores all the external files. Tableau package workbook stores all the external files, Excel, Access, images, and also importantly, the .tde file as well, correct? This .tde files, okay? So the advantage is you can also store .td files within the package workbook. Go back to here like folder, and you have, let's delete this, shift to delete, because we already have the package workbook. Right click on this, let's do unpackage. So the live versus extract is one of the important interview questions. So they will ask like, what is the difference between .tds and .tde, or maybe they will ask a live versus extract. Why do you prefer live? Why do you prefer extract? Sometimes in banking domains, uh, we have to go for live, whether it is a performance issues or not. Sometimes, like not for all the applications in banking domain, but sometimes you have to go for only live. Sometimes we do prefer extract. So extract, it's your choice, but if they come up straight away and they say like, hey, it's a live data and we'll get updated data like every 2 hours or every 3 hours or every 6 hours. Every 6 hours is fine, we can refresh the extract as well, but every 2 hours or every 1 hour, better you can choose live. But if you have a drastic change in the performance, yes, we have to think of the refresh. But let me double click on this data sources. You can see, you remember, right? March 27 Superstore data, which we created data extract file. Interestingly, the size of the Tableau data extract file is, you can see the .td file size is 960 KB. So 960 KB TD file size. Do you remember the Excel file? Okay, we have, I do agree with people and returns table. We have some part of data, but let's say save as, in documents, or let's say in workbooks, in our folder. I'm saving this file, test file. What I mean to say is we loaded only orders table, right? We created extract only for orders table. Let me delete this. Just want to give you a very perfect size of the workbook. The size of the workbook is, the size of the Excel file is 3.8818 MB, but actual size of the workbook, do you remember, 3.22 MB. So when we delete those two, it's a very minimal data, like 3.18, it's like 4 MB of data, the other two sheets. But the orders table, you got the point, right? What I'm saying, we created an extract. When you created an extract file, the extract file size is 960 KB, but the actual Excel source file is 3.22 MB. You can see even the .td file is going to compress the data. It is compressing almost like 1/3, right? 3 times, correct? So that's a huge difference. So with the actual Excel source file size is 3.18, but when you convert that into extract file, the file size is, you can clearly see here, the file size is 960 KB. That is the advantage of .tde file. It is also going to compress the data. So even you can also connect to databases and you can also fetch the information. Couple of dashboards I worked on, which is like those dashboard size, the Excel, the extract file size is like, one is 480 MB, and one more is like around 620 or 623 or something, I do remember, 623 MB. So the extract file size. Maybe rarely they will ask in interviews what is the worksheet like maximum file size you work in real time, like in your project. You can tell that the file of the extract is like 480 MB. Okay, so maybe we may have some millions of records, maybe like 20 lakhs or 30 lakhs of data. I'm not sure exactly, but I remember the size of the file. Not every file size is in 480 or 600 MB. You might see like 20 MB file or 30 MB file or even 10 MB file, right? So it depends on the data. So what I mean to say is Tableau package workbook, now you can see the advantage, right? Even it is also going to store the .td file within the package workbook. So that is the advantage of Tableau package workbook. Clear? So, and it is also compress, it is also going to compress the data. The actual Excel file size is 3.18 MB. So when you compress the data, like whenever you are going to create extract file, so the extract file size is 960 KB. So that's the advantage here. Clear all? So we'll go through the differentiation between full refresh and incremental refresh on Monday, and it won't take much time, these differentiations. Uh, on Tuesday, I may not be available on Tuesday. It may get late for me. So I'm traveling actually. So traveling on like on Sunday evening. So I will be back on Tuesday. I'll take class on Monday, no worries. But like Tuesday, I think I'll confirm. Okay, I'll confirm on Monday. So no need to worry about that. So any questions?